Hi, very good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining. So now we'll be starting with the session. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. Can anyone from my team please confirm?
Yeah, it is, Meghna. Please go ahead.
Sure. Thank you. Hi, good afternoon again, everyone, and thank you again very much for joining the session. I'm Meghna Tayal, Head of Marketing for Energy and Environment Business Division at HORIBA India. And I'm very much delighted to welcome you all to the fourth session of EcoEdge webinar series. Through EcoEdge, we aim to deliver solutions that combine industrial excellence with ecological responsibility, smart, sustainable, and effective. So, the session for today's is around a very evolving topic that is navigating Euro 7 compliance insights and advanced emission testing with next generation analyzer. Let me start with an introduction of the speakers for today. Ms. Yoko Bamba-san, Meister and an emission regulation expert from HORIBA Limited, Japan, and Mr. Yosuke Kondo-san, who is a product expert from HORIBA Limited, Japan. But before we deep dive into the technical session, let me walk you through quick insights about HORIBA, both globally and here in India. The HORIBA Group, a global analytical leader since 1953, serving the markets of energy and environment, bio and healthcare, materials and semiconductor. We are into R&D, manufacturing, sales and service. Our head office is in Kyoto, Japan, and our organization was founded in the year 1945. Mr. Atsushi Horiba-san is the chairman and group CEO. Horiba India Technical Center, state-of-the-art facility, has become a demonstration base for emission measurement systems and advanced analytical instruments. Also, very recently, we did launch the hydrogen internal combustion engine testbed facility at HATC Pune, India. Our major clients based in India and SAARC nations. Thank you once again for joining us. And now I hand it over to the speakers for today's session. Thank you. I will request our speakers to please take it over from here.
Right. Okay, then I'll share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to this seminar. My name is Yoko Bamba, and I'm from HORIBA, Japan. My role is researching regulatory trends and providing suitable test system solutions for our customers. I'm very excited to have this opportunity to connect with our customers in India today. This is today's agenda. We have limited time, so let's dive into today's topic. First, I'll explain about Euro 7 overview. What is Euro 7? I think everyone who joined this webinar has already known it, but I'll start from here as warming up. Euro 7 is a unified regulation for light-duty vehicles and for heavy-duty vehicles. Previously, it was two different regulations for two categories, but Euro 7 is applied to both categories. In addition to the vehicle regulation, it establishes battery durability requirements. And regarding to emission limits, it includes non-exhaust particles limit as a new element. This slide shows the Euro 7 requirements overview. Highlighted in blue are new requirements introduced from Euro 7. These components of Euro 7 has been decided last year. However, there are so many new items like this, and a measurement method for these items are still under development. This slide shows what has been finalized already and which are under development. For example, brake and tire test procedures, as well as their limits, are still being discussed. And for heavy-duty vehicles, new pollutants components will be introduced, and the measurement method for these components are still under development. So from now on, I'll explain the latest update for light-duty vehicles. On September 5th, two implementing regulations were published. One regulation mainly covers exhaust emission and evaporative emissions, while the other covers onboard fuel consumption monitoring requirements and onboard monitoring requirements. The implementing regulation defined several phases of Euro 7. First phase of Euro 7 is called Euro 7 temp. It's become mandate for new vehicles from 29th November 2026. This phase introduced onboard monitoring system requirements as a new component. Second phase of Euro 7 is called Euro 7A, and Euro 7A includes requirements for brake and battery durability, in addition to Euro 7 temp requirements. Euro 7A will begin on mandatory from November 27, 2020, November 29, 2027. From this date, Euro 7 will apply not only for new type of global test, but also all new registered vehicles. And tire aberration limits for C1 tire will start from July 1st, 2028. And further phases of Euro 7, Euro 7B, and Euro 7C will be start in this time schedule. The difference of Euro 7A and Euro 7B, Euro 7C are the value of the brake emission limits. Regarding to exhaust emission limits for light-duty vehicles, the level remains same as Euro 6E, except for particulate number limit here. Euro 7 will introduce PN10 limit, which regulates more fine particles, replacing the previous PN23 limits. Additionally, under Euro 7, all gasoline vehicles must meet PM and PN limits, which previously applied only for direct injection vehicles. Regarding to brake limits, 3 phases are planned. The later stage emission limit will be set based on the United Nations Working Group report. From Euro 7B, particulate number limit will be added in addition to particulate mass emission limit. As I mentioned, the implementing regulation for exhaust and evaporative emissions has been published, so exhaust measurement methods are finalized. The real-world emission measurement method is based on UN Regulation 168, and laboratory test procedures are based on UN Regulation 154. Both regulations do not increase PN10 related specifications, so only PN10 related requirements are defined in this regulation. This slide shows the changes of the chassis dyno emission test system in Euro 7. PN10, sorry, the picture looks a little bit strange, but the PN10 measurement device should be added for Euro 7. But the other items are same as Euro 6E. The same change will be required for RDE measurement method, and there are no change regarding the gases emission measurement system, which is following UN Regulation 168. But regarding to PN, the new device to measure PN10 will be required. Here, I would also like to share some exciting news about our new product, NexaCube. As previously mentioned, Euro 7 RD measurement method referred to UN Regulation 168 as measurement method. According to UN Regulation 168, standard analyzers are listed in the table on left. However, the regulation allows to use alternative analyzer, which have equivalent or better performance. And any alternative analyzer must be approved by the testing services. And here, I'm pleased to announce that Vehicle Certification Agency in United Kingdom approved our NexaCube as an alternative analyzer. We will explain details about this principle and the product in later session. And another implementing regulation was published in this month, which includes OBM onboard monitoring system requirements. The blue box outlines the OBM requirements, and it includes a function to calculate NOx emission and record it for each trip. Each trip is defined as a period from when the propulsion system turns on until it's turned off. And the accuracy of the NOx value should be checked in service conformity. And the system functions are checked through the submitted data at market surveillance. NOx monitoring value must not be 30% lower than the emission testing system value. And our MEXA tube has high response time, so it is suitable for development of OBM system. Regarding to other new elements, battery availability, brake emissions, and tire abrasion, evaluation methods are almost finalized in UN regulation working group. I don't have enough time to explain those details today, but HORIBA has solutions for these evaluations also. So please feel free to contact us for your support. Next, I'll explain latest information about heavy-duty vehicles. This slide shows expected timeline for heavy-duty vehicles. Same as light-duty vehicles, implementing regulation will be developed in 3 years, and the process is planned as 2 stages. And the first is for emissions and FCM and OBM. And the second is for a brake, tire, and battery durability. Euro 7 will start from middle of 2028 for new type approval. And tire limit will apply from 2032. This slide shows the emission limit for heavy-duty vehicles. It is challenging limit and including new components like NMOG, N2O, and methane. Regarding to formaldehyde, currently it is not listed in the table, but the formaldehyde emission level will be assessed from Commission, and they will assess the need of limit by the end of 2027. Emission measurement system requirements are still under development. As shown in this table, the measurement method will follow UN Regulation 49. However, there are new components like NMOG, N2O, so it will be added to UNR 49. And we expect the first set of implementing regulation will be finalized by the end of November next year. One of the new components is NMOG, and we often get asked, what is NMOG? There is a definition in Euro 7 language like this, but the calculation formula hasn't decided yet. One candidate is the formula used in United States. It is used all alcohol and aldehyde values. And these components are sampled by impinger or cartridge and measured by gas chromatography. Another possible formula is EU original one, and the method uses a formaldehyde value and other fuel properties There is also have a possibility of using a constant value instead of measured aldehyde values. We expect the development of the formula will be finalized in next year. As I mentioned earlier, emission measurement method will follow UN Regulation 4907 series, and the amendment for the regulation is under developed, and currently draft has submitted already and will be voted in this November. And in the draft, QCL-IR measurement principle and FTIR will be added as alternative method to measure low exhaust emission. There are some conditions for alternative analyzer. For example, alternative analyzer shall be type exempt by the Meteorological Institute. So not all analyzers are permitted as alternative analyzer, but we plan to have our product MexaCube type exempt so that it can be used for alternative method. This slide shows an engine test system example compatible for current UN R49 regulation. And if the alternative methods are permitted, all the components can be measured by a new principle like QCL-IR. QCL-IR can be compact and movable analyzer like MexaCube. Another example for Euro-7 measurement system like this added N2O formaldehyde analyzer and also PN10 analyzer. These are new components for Euro-7. We are willing to support your test system updates with latest information. So please feel free to contact us. So last is summary. For light-duty vehicles, a first set of implementing regulation has been published on September 5th, 2025, this year, and exhaust emission measurement requirements are fixed. And a second set of implementing regulation will be expected next year, and it will contain about brake, tire, battery durability requirements. And Euro 7 temp will start from November 2026. And 3 additional stages will be set based on brake emission limits. For heavy-duty vehicles, currently implementing regulation is under development, and it will expected to be finalized next year. Second set of implementing regulation will be expected more later, and Euro 7 will start from May 29, 2028. That's all for my presentation. Thank you very much to your attention. And Q&A session will be held at the end, so please enter your question via Q&A function if you have. Then now I'll pass it over to Yosuke Kondo-san for the next topic.
Thank you, Bamba-san. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming here today. I'm Yosuke Kondo, product expert of MexaCube, which I'm going to introduce. Today, I'm here to talk about advanced emission testing with next generation QCL-IR Analyzer. For carbon neutrality, at first, people believed that battery EV would save the world. However, under current circumstances, also PHEV, and carbon neutral fuels are recognized as necessary technologies to achieve the carbon neutrality. So there is a lot of things going on in parallel like this. This means that still need emission measurement. For this demand, HORIBA developed MexaCube, which is the next generation compact emission analyzer. To put MexaCube in a word, compact and high performance. So MexaCube is a successor of OBS1, which is our conventional PEMS, but it has more potential. MexaCube is not only for RD testing, but also testing in any R&D stages. What evolved from OBS1? For example, the conventional PEMS, OBS1, required these three analyzer units to measure all components for the upcoming emissions regulations. MexaCube integrates these three units into a single unit and adds a formaldehyde analyzer. Furthermore, the control unit and the power exchange units are also integrated into one. As a result, a highly simplified system configuration realized. MexaCube reduced the number of pipes and wiring by approximately 50% compared to OBS1 system. When used as a laboratory analyzer, MexaCube reduced power consumption by approximately 80% compared to Mexa1. In addition, while FTIR analyzers, which are one of famous multi-component analyzer, require liquid nitrogen supply, but MexaCube doesn't need such specialized utilities. So I'll explain later. MexaCube has comparable performance to the laboratory-grade analyzers. If it is used in laboratory, it can be set on a trolley. We are developing a sampling unit to utilize MexaCube for engine out measurement. For RD testing, MexaCube equips a whole package including exhaust flow rate, a GNSS antenna, a weather station, a OBD interface, and so on. MexaCube has these features, and these features give these advantages to users. Let's see one by one. First, multiple components. MexaCube is the direct gas analyzer and can measure these 9 components. 8 components from CO to methane are measured by QCL-IR, and THC is measured by FID. This QCL-IR is a special technology developed by HORIBA it is called ALAM. And as you can see, this component set widely covers Euro 7 and China 7. I'll explain what is ALAM. There is the QCL-IR technology, which is the mid-infrared gas analysis principle, utilizing quantum cascade laser as a light source. The basic configuration is this. A laser beam from QCL is introduced into a gas cell and reflected multiple times between concave mirrors. Then the laser beam absorbed by gas components is detected by a detector. The detected signals are calculated to concentrations, and there are two major calculation algorithms. Conventional one is intrapulse, and another is ALAM, which was newly developed by HORIBA in 2021. ALAM stands for Infrared Laser Absorption Modulation. This method gives a lot of advantages such as high sensitivity, low interference, and fast response. Here, we will discuss the three key features of ALAM technologies. The QCL light source is designed and manufactured entirely by HORIBA, and it includes unique innovations to improve challenges specific to laser-based gas analysis, minimize optical noise, and the oscillation wavelength shift caused by ambient temperature changes. The Helios cell, designed by HORIBA, achieves 5-meter optical path length with a gas cell volume of just 50 milliliters. This enables both high sensitivity and fast analyzer response time. The most impressive technology in ALAM is HORIBA's unique concentration calculation algorithm. Although the conventional spectral fitting method calculates concentration accurately, solving hundreds of simultaneous equations for real-time measurement requires high-performance computers. On the other hand, ALAM replaces detected signals with abstract numerical features quantities and compares these feature quantities to pre-measured reference feature quantities for concentration calculation. This approach calculates concentration with high precision using only a dozen numerical values. ARM can be fully implemented even on microcomputers embedded within the device. In addition, we actually prepare the reference signals under various environmental conditions, such as temperature and pressure, in advance. So ARM can handle the feature quantities that take into environmental change effects. So we can say ARM is a suitable technology for real-world measurement, such as PEMS. As Bamba-san already talked, QCL-IR is a newer technology than NDIR and CRD, which are conventionally used for regulatory emissions measurement. So QCL-IR should be approved by each regulations. I'll explain the progress of this. As Bamba-san said, for Euro-7 LDBRD, this is very hot news. MaxCube has been approved as an alternative analyzer by BCA in the UK for UNR 168, which is the uniform provision of the LDBRD approval. For Euro 7 heavy duty, laboratory, and RDE, the latest UNR 4907 amendment allows QCL-IR as low analyzer measurement methods. The second is high accuracy. To be honest, some spec of MaxCube on the catalog is weak compared to Max1 series, but please look at actual performance in this slide and review it. This emission test was performed on a chassis dyno with a gasoline vehicle. Test cycle was WLTC cold start. Max1 equips shear D, Max1 XLNX equips Alam, and MaxCube were compared. This is a NOx result. As you can see, MaxCube showed in black has good agreement with laboratory grade analyzers, even in low concentration. In terms of ammonia, we can say the same thing, even in it is generally difficult to measure accurately. So we believe MaxCube can be used in laboratories, and its secure data continuity with Max1 series. MaxCube has good agreement with the CBS method as well. These data were comparison between both. We performed more than 10 tests in multiple laboratories and plotted results on the graphs. A horizontal axis is CBS mass, and a vertical axis is MaxCube mass. As you can see, slope of a regression line was close to 1.0, and a determination coefficient was almost 1.0. The NOx result was as well. What we can say from these results, MaxCube is suitable to evaluate emissions as mass in upstream processes. For example, transient operated engine test cell. Let me mention about capability against carbon neutral field emissions. Challenge for emission analyzers is high moisture from combustion compared to conventional gasoline and diesel exhaust gases. For example, let's see this graph. Gasoline, orange bar, around 40% of H2O. But CN fuels, carbon neutral fuels, more than 20% H2O. Conventional technology against high moisture is a dehumidifier and a scrubber in a sampling line. But MaxCube doesn't have both. It measures high moisture exhaust gas directly as wet. But interference effect against high moisture is very small. This graph shows it. A horizontal is a measurement component measured by MaxCube, and a vertical is magnitude of interference effect against 24% of H2O. As you can see, interference of all components were less than 1 ppm. we can say MaxCube is suitable tool for carbon neutral field emissions. The next is high stability. The most challenge in RD testing is the analyzer drift because environmental conditions are changing during tests. Don't worry about this with MaxCube. This is regarding ambient temperature. When the temperature changes from -10 to 45 degrees Celsius, span error showed in a vertical axis while within ±2%. This 2% is the drift criteria in RD tests in the regulations. In terms of ambient pressure, span error kept ±2% as well up to 3,000 meters. And we can show real vibration effect taken on a proving ground. A beaker with MaxCube and span bottles Belgian pave while providing span gas. This was very hard condition compared to actual public road. However, as you can see, no impact on MaxCube, even more than 10G acceleration was observed. Calibrating analyzer every day can be a bit of pain for all users. MaxCube would release you from stress in span calibration. This graph shows stability of span sensitivity of the alarm analyzer. We performed zero and span calibrations prior to chassis and RD testing, as usual. At that time, calibration coefficients were recorded. Then, we analyzed by variation of analyzer sensitivity. The sensitivity was kept ±2% for 6 months. You may not need daily span calibration in R1D tests. Next is compact. I'll explain regarding a case of battery EV test cells. Currently, one guy is struggling. He has a lot of battery EV dedicated test cells, but he wants to develop PHEV now. He considered to add a CBS system in the battery EV test cell. However, there is no space for it. MaxCube will solve this problem. MaxCube is a compact system, so it can be installed in the small space. He doesn't need a large construction. And this is enabled because MaxCube has good agreement with CBS system. As MaxCube has own test sequence function, he doesn't need a brand new test automation system. This is much cheaper solution. We use, say, similar things to other type of test cells. Finally, movable. Conventionally, testing equipment is installed inside test cells, but investments are necessary for each test cell. So this is not suitable under current circumstances. We can propose new cost-effective operations of testing. Let's share mix cube among the test cells. Step 1. Calculate mix cube in a preparation room. As I already explained, mix cube is very stable against environmental changes. So this becomes possible. Step 2. Carry mix cube into the test cell. This is allowed because mix cube is strong against vibration. And if we use battery for power source of mix cube can keep standby. Step 3, run an emission test. Mix cube requires just general power outlet, which is easy to get. Of course, locations that don't have analyzers like powertrain bench can be emission test cells. So this is summary. HORIBA supports highly efficient and cost-effective development and contributing the realization of a sustainable society. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Yokobamba-san and Kondo-san, for the wonderful session. So now we'll take up for the Q&A. So first question, do HORIBA have any system for two-wheeler RDE testing by Mr. Vikram? And also, I have also enabled the mic for all the who have asked the questions. So, Mr. Vikram, you can also please, speak if you wish to. So I'll just repeat the question. Do HORIBA have any system for two-wheeler RDE testing? HORIBA team, could you please answer the question? Do HORIBA have any system for two-wheeler RDE testing? Kondo-san, I request you to please answer you.
Yeah, sorry. I share my screen now, and actually, to say actually, we don't have a product for RD testing for two-wheeler motorcycles, but we had experience to join researches in EU, which is conducted for a motorcycle real-world emission testing. And in that time, we provide our product as a prototype. And it is one of them is based on Mexa 554L. It is analyzer for idling testing. It is used for the motorcycle RD evaluation. So we don't have a product, but we have an opportunity to measure and to join such a project. That is the answer of this question.
I hope your question is being answered, Mr. Vikram.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next question is QCL-IR Analyzer is for advanced testing air pollutant only, or shall be used for SIMS application in coal or oil-fired thermal power plants also? So I'll repeat the question. So our IRLM analyzer is for advanced testing air pollutant only, or shall be used for SIMS application in coal or oil thermal power plants also?
Two seconds.
I'll share my screen again, and I'm sorry to share Japanese site. I hope I can find English site for it. We have a QCL Analyzer product, which is not only for exhaust emission for all the vehicles, but also it can be used for process exhaust assessment. So the name of the analyzer is this PLGA 1000, and I'm sorry I can't find the English website at now, but I will put the information in this chat box as soon as possible after finishing this answer. So you can use this for FEMS also, and you can use this for evaluation in the process class.
Thank you again. I hope it's. So we'll also be sharing the English version of the same that Yoko-san just explained in this chat box. So next question by Mrs. Swapnil San. Have we done any correlation activity between OBS1 and Mixacube? If yes, then what is the percentage?
Sorry, you skipped one question, maybe.
Okay. So this is extreme low interference E1 in wet measurement. Water compensation algorithm is not used in this analyzer.
Actually, so our algorithm has water compensation. So, but it depends on laser oscillation wavelengths. So some components has compensation against water in the exhaust gas.
All right. So the question from Mrs. Swapnil. Yeah. Have we done any correlation activity between OBS1 and Mixacube? If yes, then what is the percentage?
Yes, we did. And of course, so the correlation between both was good, but Mexcube has better correlation with laboratory grade analyzer, laboratory grade alarm analyzer, because Mexcube has faster analyzer response time than OBS1. So this is the reason why. So correlation with laboratory grade alarm analyzer was better than OBS1. So I'll show some data after this seminar in the chat box. Is that okay for you?
Yes, okay, no.
Sure. So I think Mr. Himanshu Srivastav has raised his hand. So Himanshu sir, if you could please unmute yourself and speak.
Thank you, Meghna-san. Actually, my question is, HORIBA have any system which we can add in our existing two-wheeler mass emission lab, and we can get the data, PN data for two-wheeler also. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Yeah.
That again slowly.
Sorry, we can't get your question. So could you say it again, please?
Actually, we require the PN data, particulate number. So, is HORIBA have any device which we can add in our existing two-wheeler mass emission lab? So we can get the PN data also.
For laboratory measurement, we have a device which can measure PN10 and PN23 nanometers. So
Okay.
it should be no problem. But for real-world measurement with two-wheelers, it
Yeah,
is
two-wheeler.
difficult for us for now.
For two-wheeler.
So for two-wheeler RDE, you said, is this correct?
No, not
no.
RD. In a lab.
Alright.
Yeah.
車種テストだ。車種テスト。
Not set test. Actually, we have already mass emission lab of HORIBA, Maxa 1 CVS1. So is HORIBA have any device we can add in our existing system, so we can get the PN data also?
Is we have a SPCS1 that is can measure PN particular number.
Okay, so in two-wheeler mass emission lab, there is no tunnel. So if we require the PN data, so is it we have to install the tunnel also, or we can use for PN in existing system? Because right now we don't have any tunnel for two-wheeler emission lab.
I see.
Yeah.
If you need to measure correctly about PN, I think we you should adding the dilution tunnel right now.
Okay.
For R and D, it is possible
possible.
to measure direct measurement.
Direct measurement.
Yeah, by raw gas.
Yes.
Direct sampling by SPCS.
Yes. But if the customer want to measure PN at the mass, how can I say, mass emission.
Okay, so
I think
so we will get the data of PN and mass emission as well. We have to measure directly, not dilute.
Okay, in such case, for mass PN emission, we can provide dilution, not a full dilution tunnel, but we have a partial dilution tunnel. So I think partial dilution tunnel plus SPCS could be solution to measure mass PN and PM and PN to the direct measurement system.
Okay. Understood. Thank you for answering the question. And the other one is like in previous OBS one, we are having the feasibility for adding the PN and PM. So in Maxa Q for RD, we have the feasibility for PM and PN, adding the PM and PN analyzer also.
Q부터 PN.
Yeah.
Currently, we don't have PN analyzer and PM analyzer of Mexicube series, but this Mexicube gas analyzer can connect it with OBS1 PN and OBS1 PM easily. So your research should be no problem with Mexicube and OBS1 combination.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kondo-san.
Thank you, Himanshu-san. So, Mr. Nitesh Rawat has a question. So, could you please unmute yourself and speak? Hello, Mr. Nitesh Rawat, you can please unmute your mic and speak if you have a question. Okay. Okay, so we have another question from Jay Shankar. He has raised his hand. So could you please unmute your mic and speak?
Thank you, Magnuson. I just want to understand, can MexaCube be used for emission measurement on vehicles with H2 internal combustion engines? Are already any measurements done with such vehicles?
Yes, it should be no problem, and we have the experience of the H2IC measurement with Mexicube. So sorry, this H2IC I said was completely vehicle.
Yes.
And yeah, we have experience and we got a good data, but unfortunately we can't share you because of the confidential data with the customer.
Okay, so the device is compatible.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Nitish, are you able to unmute your mic now? So, maybe I just speak your question. So the question is MexaCube complaint for BS6 heavy duty engine testing as per AIES 137 part 4 and 7?
今ありましたね。これですかね。BS7 따라간다. 저거.
Should I repeat the question?
Nishan-san, do you have a comment about this point? I think we proceed.
So yeah, hello. Maybe I can help Kondo-san to understand this question. Hello, this is Nishant. I'm product manager of emission system in HORIBA, India. So just to refresh the question, Kondo-san, okay, AS 137 part 4, which is heavy duty legislation in BS6, it is similar to R49 revision 6. So Mr. Nitish, he is asking us if our MexaCube is presently compatible with the BS6 legislation or no. So maybe just to answer your question, Nitish-san, certain components of the legislation, they are compatible, but I think if you're talking about conventional component like CO, CO2, NO, NOx, etc., right now we have yet to receive the clearance from this legislation authority, but our activities are going on to prove the system and get the clearance. But okay, like we have gotten the approval in R49 revision 7. Mexacube is also accepted for ammonia testing. So the principle like quantum cascade laser, it is accepted for measuring ammonia right now. I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you, Nishant-san. So we'll move to the next question. Whether QCL-IR Analyzer can be used for dilute emission measurements. So I would request Mr. Praful-san if you can just unmute your mic. So the question is, I'll just repeat it, whether our IR analyzer can be used for dilute emission measurements.
Currently, HORIBA has the product, alarm products for only direct measurement, direct emission measurement. So unfortunately, we can't provide a dilute emission measurement with alarm so far.
Sure. Thank you, Kondo-san. So another question is from Mr. Nikhilesh. Can Mexacube be used for two-wheeler emission tests? I think that has been answered. So Mr. Nikhilesh, if you have another question, you can please unmute your mic and speak. So here is another question from Mr. Vikas Verma. Any plan for getting Ireland-based analyzer approval for BS6 testing also? Okay.
Yeah, again, I think I have also already answered to that. This is Nishant here. So yeah, presently our efforts are going on to also get this analyzer approved for existing legislation, specifically BS6 AS137 Part 3 and Part 4. I think we will inform as soon as possible whenever we get this clearance to all. Right now, this analyzer is compatible for EU-7 and onwards regulatory requirements, and also to certain legislation which Kondo-san has already explained, like R49 Revision 7, UN Stage 5 for NRMM application, as well as CFR 1065 for certain components. But VCA has already given us the approval for using IRLAM for UNR 168 RD testing. So similarly, we are also hoping to get this approval from an Indian authority. Thank you.
Thank you, Nishant. Yes, Mr. Sadanand-san, you can please unmute your mic and speak.
Yeah. Thank you. So only one question that the presentation is very nice and very good. And how the result is showing in the screen or some result pages, how the result is generation. Existing OBS one is showing the CF factor for CO, THC and NOx for these all additional component, some result page or how the result is showing in the new Mexacube. Is there any pages there?
Hello, sir. I think I can answer to your question. I think your question is about the reporting format of the system, right? The final report which you get after post-processing system. So yeah, we do have a reporting format which we have designed for EU-7 application. Maybe I can share you that personally and we can discuss your queries on that.
Thank you. Thank you, Nishan.
So thank you once again, everyone. And we would like to close the session now. Before closing, I would just say that we'll be sharing the PowerPoint presentation to you shortly. And we'll also be sharing with you all small feedback forms. So would request everyone to please, fill it. It would really help us to plan for the next sessions. So see you all in the next fifth session of EcoEdge series. And thank you so much for joining and participating in this session. And thank you, Kondo-san and Yokobamba-san and Nishant. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, team. Bye.
Thank
Hope
you.
next time.
Very good.